the game day bingo from lunch hour, including the same minor, major, and mega jackpots. But that leads us right into the second game of Lucky 4 bingo for the day, right at 4 p.m., and that kicks off our happy hour bingo.
Yeah, our happy hour bingo is always a lot of fun as we get after some Lucky 4 bingo action at 4 p.m. and at 6 p.m. And in between there, we get some Skull bingo action running from 4 to 6, getting after that coverall in 50 balls or less, large frame in 43 balls or less, or line prize in 10 balls or less. Me and John had the pleasure of giving out quite a few line prizes during that time, but we did not give out our large frame or coverall, so they are just growing and rolling into tomorrow's Skull bingo from 4 to 6. But before you guys got here for this Wild Wednesday, you were playing game day bingo from 6 all the way till 7. That game day bingo normally runs from 6 all the way till 10 outside of these great PGL specialty nights. We're having this PGL specialty night all the way till 9 p.m. tonight, giving out a bunch of PGL points, a bunch of great prizes. But just last night, we had another great PGL special night, MegaSota game night. That special night starts at 6:40, as it does every single Tuesday, and it's going to be, and Tony and Nikki were there giving out a bunch of PGL points, but we're not able to give out their jackpot jangle grand finale, meaning that jackpot's growing and rolling into next week. $15,548 available there that you could take home in 54 balls or less. Definitely some awesome stuff in both those nights, and hopefully you guys have taken home some good prizes. Well, you guys are already here for one of those nights, so good on you guys.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Wild Wednesday, always a good time, rolling from 7 to 9 every single Wednesday, as you guys know. You're here right now. So definitely continue playing some of those good PGL games that we got going on tonight. I guess we can let them know what we're playing all tonight.
Yeah, we'll be playing a lot of great games. I think after this game that we're playing right here of Top Dog, we get into Vikings Victory.
Yep. Oh, no. We'll be getting into Winter Wonderland.
Wonderland.
And then Vikings Victory.
There you go.
Around. That'll be a lot of fun. Vikings Victory will be rolling around after the next game, like Ian said. And then we'll have Lucky Sevens, the tournament game, rolling around too. Ice Fishing Derby right after that, so another really good game. That's probably the favorite one of the night for me. And then we'll be finishing off tonight with 2 back-to-back games of Game Day Bingo. Of course, 4 for $2, the 25-cent or the 50-cent edition, I mean. So definitely get in on those Game Day Bingo games later on. They're going to be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, speaking of your favorites, after second day of off-season, who's your favorite right now to win each division within the NFL?
Oh, yeah, let's take a look.
Yeah.
Let's take a look. They have a whole thing where they have a list of all the free agency moves by division.
Yeah, I'll pull up last year's conference standings.
Okay, cool. And so we'll have the standings as they were relating to last year, and then see how they'll shape up going into this year. Let's take a look. So for the AFC East, I mean, we have the Dolphins making a ton of moves, but Bills have been kind of moving around some players. I don't know if they've been getting better or been getting worse. I'm not too sure. New England Patriots, they made a couple moves too. Let's see. Jets have been making a multitude of moves as well. So this is a pretty tricky one. I feel like it could go anywhere in
the
AFC
East.
Yeah.
So AFC East last year finished off with Bills at the number 1 spot, Dolphins at number 2, Patriots at number 3, and Jets at number 4.
Okay, interesting. Oh, Riley Reif went over to the Patriots.
Ooh, that's a big pickup for them. He's a really, really nice blocker.
Yeah, 100%. They got another couple offensive linemen. James Ferentz, Calvin Anderson is another one. That's an interesting one, but of course, those are the moves the Patriots like to make.
It's a very Patriots offseason for them.
Yeah. But Patriots, I don't know. Probably not going to win. I'd say it's a no on them.
No, they're probably not going to win.
Especially with the competition they got against them.
I go Dolphins end up getting the victory in this one.
Okay.
I say Bills digress as a team once again, as I think that the farther they get away from Brian Dable's offense that they had in that 2-3 years ago, I think they're going to just get to a worse offensive state, and I say they're still going to finish probably either second or third. It just matters on how big the Jets improve in this upcoming season with adding Aaron Rodgers, adding a few other big time players. It feels like it should work out. I feel like it's a competition between Dolphins and Jets, but the one solid team in there is the Bills that I know their quarterback's sick. I know that they have a decent coaching staff. I know they have, a decent wide receiver in Stephon Diggs. They are the most consistently good out of these teams that have all their players returning. But it's just those other teams are just so massively talented
Very true.
and had big talent shifts. So I'll go Dolphins win. I'll say Bills finish in second, Jets in third, Patriots last.
I'm going to go with, I think that the Dolphins are no. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I think the Jets are going to be first.
Ooh.
I think the Jets are going to be first. They're going to be really good. I think the Bills are going to be second. They're going to regress a little bit, but they're still going to be really good.
Yeah,
still.
I mean, above the Dolphins.
And they're going to make the playoffs as a wild card, but they're going to get knocked out first round. That's just how it goes for the Bills. And then I think the Dolphins are not going to be in third. I think the Patriots will be in third, and I think the Dolphins will be in fourth.
Ooh.
Because quarterback situation is not going to work out. Tua's going to be out all year again.
But aren't you a Mike White guy?
I am a Mike White guy, but I don't think it's going to work out either.
Okay, that makes sense.
But that's just a hot take. That's just like a fun little take I formulated.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm really high up on Mike White. I'm really high up on the Dolphins too. I just thought that was like kind of a fun.
I'm though not as high up on the Jalen Ramsey, Xavier Howard DB room as other people are, just because I think Jalen Ramsey is not what he once was. I think he's a solid cornerback. I don't think he's bad, but you know, he's not a great tackler. He's never been a great tackler, but you know, he's not like, you know, he's lost a little bit of that. He's not as explosive. He's just not the same cornerback he once was, and you can't stay at that level for, you know, that long of time. So, you know, I don't blame him for being down, but I just don't think he's the same, you know, number one cornerback that he was. And so, and then I also think Xavier Howard isn't the same number one cornerback he was about 2 or 3 years ago. That's true. So I think they're both kind of a little outside of their primes. They're both solid, so I think they will have a good DB room, but I just don't think it's as like locked down as like people are making it out to be.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I 100% agree with that, and that's why I put them down a little bit low. I don't think that they're going to do super well. What I actually think, I think the Dolphins will actually be good, but I think there's a chance within my hot take that they don't do good.
Okay.
And I think that'll just be the, you know, kind of hot take prediction I'll have.
Okay, now heading on to the AFC West.
Let's see.
Or we can do AFC North.
Yeah, we'll do AFC North.
Okay, so last year they finished Bengals number 1, Ravens number 2, Steelers number 3, and Browns number 4.
Let's see. I think it'll be. Let's see. Man, this is a hard one too, low-key.
I agree as well. This one's a very in-flux one. I think Bengals are the clear-cut number 1 seed in that division. True. I think the other 3 can be shuffled in any order, and you could talk me into how it works out.
I'm going to say I'll just do hot takes for all these. I'm just going to find out like some random weird situation that happens. Browns, I think, will be number 1.
That's very if Deshaun Watson figures it all out, he could definitely be. I mean, they could definitely be number 1. They have all the talent
with a good
to do
defense too. Like you know what I mean. So I think
they just released Javion Clowney.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they just released him. So another pass rusher out on the free agent market. I'm not a huge Clowney guy.
Yeah,
but
he was like okay for the Browns last year.
But I think any team that's looking for a decent pass rusher, I think he could definitely help out a little bit in that category. My only issue is I don't like players that think they're a lot better than they actually are. Yeah. And
he might be one of those.
He is definitely one of those guys.
Yeah. Let's see. Do the Chargers need anybody? He might maybe go over there if they're trying to rebuild their defense.
Don't they have Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack?
Oh, they did get Khalil Mack. I forgot about that.
They have both those guys right now, so they're set in the pass rush duo.
Yeah, no,
they are. For some reason, their defense still stunk it up last year.
That's what I was thinking.
That's because J.C. Jackson played really, really bad.
He did on a career contract year too.
Yeah, it was interesting. Interesting. But I probably go Bengals 1. I'm going to go Ravens number 2 because I say that Lamar plays out this season with the Ravens.
Okay.
Browns number 3, Steelers at the back of it. This is I'm the non-hot take side of this. John's the hot take side of this.
Yes, I'll just provide something weird that happens. Let's see, I think
you said Browns number 1.
Browns number 1. I'll say Ravens number 2 without Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
I think Lamar Jackson goes somewhere else, and they get 2 first-round picks in return.
Ty Huntley.
And Tyler Huntley takes a nice step, and he looks really good in this system. So they end up doing really well. And plus with all the new additions to the defense, specifically maybe even some new people might be coming in the future as well.
Okay.
I think that they'll be looking really good. I think the Steelers. Man, let's see. I think Bengals will come in at number 3, and they'll be really close to getting the wild card, but it's just not going to happen.
Okay.
Because the defense is just not going to be good. And also they're just going to be really kind of meh on offense like they were last year too. You know what I mean? Like they were really kind of all over the place. Jamar Chase was injured quite a bit. But before we go further, we got some big prizes going out to some big winners. We got Big Shooter over at Garfield Pub taking away $724 on that first place prize. Nice job to you. The rest of the winners, though, we'll be getting into them once those results do come in.
Yeah, keep on getting enrolled in present play as we're going to be getting into what now a Winter Wonderland game, which should be some pretty fun stuff. So get enrolled into this great game of Winter Wonderland, and we'll be giving out some more great prizes to you guys.
100%. But yeah, definitely some really cool stuff.
Cool stuff. AFC, that's your AFC North prediction. What about AFC West prediction? Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Broncos.
Let's see.
I kind of want to take a hot take on this one.
Okay. I'll go with my normal take on this. Then.
Okay.
Like what I actually think might happen.
I'm going Denver Broncos #1. I say Russell Wilson, new revamped roster. He finally figures it out. Everyone starts to click. That defense starts to click as well. Javon Williams stays healthy through the entirety of this season as he looks really good when he is healthy. And I say Broncos take a huge step, jump up to the #1 spot in that conference. I'm going to go Chargers #2 in that conference as Justin Herbert just really takes over. That defense finally clicks all together with, that pass rush duo and having all the talent that it does. And then I'm going to say Chiefs coming at the #3 spot, and they are one of the few 3 seeds to make the playoffs.
Okay. Cool.
And Raiders end up at the last spot in the entire conference as Jimmy Garoppolo cannot get it done in the Raiders system.
You know what's funny? I actually kind of was thinking there's going to be 3 playoff teams in this one too, to be honest.
Okay.
But I was thinking more like along the lines of I think it's going to be Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, then Raiders. So I think Broncos are going to be scraping by into the playoffs. I think kind of like a 10-7 type of thing going on.
They're your 3rd seed in this one.
Yeah, but I think the Chargers. Realistically, if I'm thinking about it, I think Chargers might be the 3rd seed and Broncos might be the 2nd seed in my eyes.
Okay.
I think I see that happening instead. And I think the Chiefs will just continue to be good.
Okay. Chargers drafted #1 wide receiver though.
Yeah.
What happened? Did it go up in your book? If they
if
they went and drafted one of the top wide receivers in this draft?
Yeah. No, I think they do.
You would say
because Keenan Allen wasn't even doing that great, and he was playing on one leg, but Justin Herbert was just going off.
Yeah, if Mike Williams has another guy to take a little bit of pressure off of him, I think they got a really good squad.
Agreed.
But yeah, cool stuff in the AFC West. That's one of those that's was supposed to be super competitive this last year. Ended up not being as competitive as we once thought.
That's right. But, of course, after we get through this AFC South, we'll go through those, those game standings for you guys.
Yes.
So we'll speed through this and see where everybody's sitting at in the AFC South. Because this is a really weird one, too.
Jaguars, Titans, Colts, Texans. That's how it finished last year.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be finishing somewhat similar. I'm going to say Jaguars at the #1 spot. I'm going to say, actually, Texans finish at the #2 spot.
Okay.
Colts at the #3 spot, and Titans at the last spot in the entire conference.
All right, I'll go pure hot takes on this one.
Okay.
I'll go pure. Let's see. I think Colts are going to take #1.
Interesting.
And that's because they draft Will Levis. They buy in, and Will Levis just goes crazy. MVP.
Dog.
MVP. Yep, he's absolutely insane. He looks great in the Colts uniforms, too. But so I think they're going to be #1. I think, let's see, who's up next in second. I think Texans are going to be #2. Derek Stingley Jr. takes that next step, is the best cornerback in NFL history. That next little step he has to make. I think also, I think they'll just be good for no reason. Just no reason at all. They'll just be kind of like one of those Lions teams.
Jaguars, Titans, the top 2 teams last year,
right.
Bottom 2 teams this year in the AFC South.
That's right. So it's going to be Colts and Texans in the top 2. Titans are going to be the last one, and Jags are going to make the playoffs, though. It's going to be a 3.
As a third
That's
seed.
right, as a 3rd seed.
You like the T-Law?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I think that's how it's going to go, exactly like that.
All right, let's get into the winners, though, from our last few games from Top Dog. We had a nice top 10, as 10th place was Cowboy 22 over at Clearwater Legion Post, taking home $36. 9th place was Jack Rod over at Muddy Cow Litchfield, taking home $36. $36 also went out to Aqua Crew over at Trapper's Bar and Grill. 7th place was Brother Dave over at Mully's on Madison, also taking home $36. And another $36 prize went out to Ezekiel's For You over at the Crooked Pint Ale House. $36 went out to 5th place player Kay Spears over at Molto's Quarry. 4th place was Amy123 over at Sergeant Pepper's, taking home $54. $90 went out to 3rd place Jason over at VFW Eagle Bend. 2nd place was the Dukes over at Ernie's on Gull Lake, taking home $181. And in 1st place we had Big Shooter over at Garfield Pub, taking home $724. Right. Good job to all of our winners in that game.
Yeah, 100%. Nice job to you guys. We got a little bit of movement already happening in the top 5 of these scores. Hurricane is in 1st right now, looking pretty good with a lot of plays left. Sue taking right over. Okay, well, hey. But yeah, everybody still has a lot of plays left. We still got about 8.5 minutes left. But be sure, by the end of this game, you use up all of those plays. You don't want to leave any of them unplayed because they'll just kind of disappear into the abyss. They will not turn into points. I'm just saying.
Okay, we're going to go into the NFC.
Yes.
Describe our descriptions of the NFC.
Oh.
Okay, so for my NFC East, this is going to be my favorite one of the entire time because I'm going to put Cowboys and Eagles at the bottom. As I'm going to go New York Giants, number 1. Danny Dimes takes another step. Darren Waller gets that number 1 wide receiving threat for him out of the tight end position. I think they take another step offensively. I think defensively they draft well and they move up to the number 1 seed. I say Commanders, they take another step with Eric Bieniemy being the offensive coordinator. We see Sam Howell, the first-year rookie last year, taking his next step into his 2nd year and becoming one of the high prominent guys that you go, ooh, kind of like Baker Mayfield year 2. You know what I'm talking about when he took that next step? That's what I'm expecting out of Sam Howell, where he leads the Commanders to a nice 2nd place seeding of on that NFC East. Eagles land themselves in 3rd with that Super Bowl hangover. They're just not going to be able to compete at the level they were. That defense is in shambles. And so I think they're going to really struggle on that side of the football. And then Cowboys are going to be dead last, in my opinion, as I just hate the Cowboys.
Oh, hey, Commanders have gotten a couple nice players. They actually picked up Cam Dantzler.
Off
the waivers.
Yeah, I think that was a good pickup for them, as
cool.
Cameron Dantzler is not a bad cornerback.
He's not bad.
I think he's just he's very streaky, and I think sometimes I felt like we just weren't in the right system for him, and so I would love to see him on a different team, getting a fresh chance at being the cornerback.
Agreed. They also got Jacoby Brissett, which is cool. He was pretty decent for the Browns last year.
Yeah, a good backup or good starter, bridge quarterback. It really matters on how they want to play that thing.
Depends on how Tom Howell plays, to be honest.
Sam Howell?
Sam Howell,
yes.
on what his on what Jacoby Brissett's role is going to be. All depends on that. But okay, so for this though, the NFC East, I'm going to put it like this. I think oh, man, you know what? I'm going to put the Commanders at the top. I'm just doing hot takes for all of these. I'll do Commanders at the top, Giants in 2nd. And I think it's going to be another 3-team playoff thing where the Cowboys make the playoffs. And then the Eagles are just last. But they still had a decent year, kind of like the Commanders. They just, too much competition, couldn't get it done.
I mean, that's not really a hot take. It may feel like a hot take right now.
I think the hot take is the Commanders at the top.
But the loser of the Super Bowl is very rarely actually makes the playoffs the year after.
That's true.
So saying the Eagles are not going to make it is not a crazy thing to say after losing the Super Bowl. Now off to the NFC West. You got 49ers, Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals finishing in that order. I'm going to go with non-hot take kind of takes. 49ers at the top. I actually think it's going to end up landing the exact same pattern again. I don't think it's going to change up at all. I think 49ers, Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals. That's how it's going to finish. If anybody jumps up, it's going to be a Rams over Seattle, as I always just trust a good coach in Sean McVay to, turn a roster around.
True.
But it doesn't feel like there's a lot of room for shakeups within that, as 49ers just got better by signing, what's his name out of the Eagles? Hargrave.
Oh, Jason Hargrave.
Yeah. They just signed him, so their front seven just got even better, and so it's going to be tough.
I think, honestly, I kind of agree. Like this is a pretty, very non-chaotic division to kind of guess at. Because, there's not, the Cardinals aren't really changing for the better. The Rams aren't really changing for the better either. If anything, they're rebuilding right now. Seahawks are still just as good as they were, if anything, getting a little better. Same with the 49ers. But they just straight up got better.
Yeah, well, Seahawks are, they're in one of the best positions in the entire NFL.
Yeah,
as
they got draft picks too.
Yeah, they got tons of draft picks.
Yeah.
They're already really good. It's gonna be crazy to see how they end up shaking up at the end of
I'm gonna
this
say
season.
I'm gonna say I think it's gonna be the exact same, except it's gonna be 49ers, Seahawks, Cardinals, and Rams.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's not a bad pickup. Cardinals did just fire Cliff Kingsbury, so
I didn't see that.
They fired him a while ago. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I probably did see
yeah,
that.
but now they're looking for a new coach. I don't know who they've been looking at though.
Oh no, I did know that because Brian Flores was literally being
Interviewed
he
for the
was being
coach spot?
interviewed. Yeah.
Really cool stuff. Well, we'll get through our final two conferences. This one's an easy one, NFC North.
Oh, they got him.
Oh, Jonathan Gannon.
Interesting.
That'll be an interesting one for them.
He was an assistant coach for the Eagles, it looks like.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah, it will be an interesting thing for them getting that new coach. NFC North, I think it's pretty cut and dry. I think it's actually going to finish very similar to it did this past year with Vikings, Lions, Packers, Bears. I think the only switch up is that Packers are going to end in the last spot of our conference, where Bears land in the third, and then Lions second, Vikings first once again. But I do think that it is going to be tough for our Vikings to win the conference, and it's going to be a real close race between us and the Lions, with both of us being 10-plus win teams.
So I think the Vikings are going to be – so this is going to be my hot take for this one. I think the Vikings are going to be better than they were this year, but not record-wise. I think record-wise they're going to decline a little bit, but they're going to have more convincing wins along that way. You know what I mean? So I think the Vikings are going to be coming in second in the division, but they're going to have the same record as the Lions, and the Lions are just going to get first seed because of a tiebreaker.
Because of winning the matchups.
Yeah.
I was literally just about to ask you, as I personally think that it's probably going to come down to their actual individual matchups with each other, who's going to end up winning the conference, and so that clears up my what your opinion is on that. So we both think that it's probably going to come down to the individual matchup, Vikings versus the Lions happening both times that year. I think it's going to be super important on who wins the NFC North.
True. And then it's interchangeable. Packers or Bears, they could switch spots. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it really matters on Jordan Love, if he's a quarterback at all. If he's a good quarterback, then they may even be a better team due to the fact that they can finally just focus on the run attack, which they felt like they've wanted to focus on for a really long time.
Very, very true.
And they still got young receiving talent with Joshua Dobbs and Christian Watson. So they don't have a bad squad. I just don't know what to do with Aaron Rodgers leaving. That's the big question mark of that squad.
And it matters on what they get back for him.
Yes.
Because they get to trade him.
Yeah, that will be a very interesting thing for them to see if they.
How much will they even get back though? You know what I mean?
Well, franchise quarterbacks pull a lot. Look what Russell Wilson was what they trade.
Even Matt Stafford.
Well, yeah. What was the Russell Wilson trade this last year?
Wasn't that 3 first-round picks? I think it might have been 3 first-round picks because Matt Stafford kind of set the baseline of what you need to get a franchise QB like that.
Yeah, at the end of his career.
Yeah.
That was a. Okay, let's see.
So
they have agreed to
2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and it was and then a 5th-round pick as well.
Okay. Also sending Drew Lock, Noah Fant, and Shelby Harris.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, that's a lot, low key.
Yeah, that is a very big haul for Russell Wilson. So probably a huge haul for Aaron Rodgers as well.
True. I was just kind of thinking, like, based off the situation, like, would you think that would kind of depreciate the value a little bit?
Of Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
Probably, but you also know that, like
at least 2 first-rounders.
Yeah, I feel like you have to give up a certain amount to it, or else the Packers are just going to be like, no.
Yeah.
They'll be like, no, we'll just let him retire for us.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Kind of
yeah, very, very true. Yeah, at that point, especially because he's on a long deal too.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I think. Now, finally, moving on from the NFC North, we'll talk about the NFC South to finish off this this little list that we've been going over. We did hit zeros in this game right here of Winter Wonderland. Looks like Brad TNT was able to take home the win of $193, and there it is, officially right up there in front of us. Good job, Brad TNT. But final little conference that we're going to go over is the NFC South. This is going to be a very interesting conference coming in. They're all kind of bad. And they're all made some big moves as well. Buccaneers picking up Baker Mayfield to fill in that void for Tom Brady. Panthers, they got the #1 pick. They just signed Miles Sanders, as well as they've done a few other offseason moves as well. I think that would be an interesting one. Saints probably are the heavy favorites in this conference to be able to win it, with Derek Carr going there, and then with all the offensive talent it already has. Michael Thomas getting healthy, him re-signing to a deal. I think they got a pretty nice squad over there for the Saints. Falcons, they're another one of those teams that I think they've done a bit of improving over this offseason, signing a few guys and trading for a few guys.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting to see how the NFC South ends up turning out. But I think for me, I'm gonna put it like this. I think the Panthers are gonna be #1 because I think that they take. Oh man, who do I want them to take? I think they'll just say screw it and take Anthony Richardson at #1 overall. And they'll be super good because of it, especially because they made a couple additions to their offense back again, which I think makes them a little bit better. But that's my hot take for that. I think Saints will be second, Bucks will be third, and then Falcons are just gonna be last again.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, your #1 seed will be my last seed at the #4 seed for the Panthers. Then I'm going to go Bucks at the 3 seed. I'm going to go Falcons at the #2 seed. And then winning the conference is going to be the New Orleans Saints.
Cool.
That's my prediction. I think that's pretty accurate. That's my actual prediction of the conference. Not any kind of crazy hot takes on that one.
I think Saints, Bucks, Falcons, Panthers. That probably makes the most sense.
I said Falcons over
Bucks?
Buccaneers. I just think with all the chaos of losing Tom Brady, as well as just like all these contracts and different things that are being given out, I just think they're in kind of a little bit of a chaotic period. Buccaneers have never had a winning culture outside of the time when they've had Tom Brady, and so I don't know if I trust the Buccaneers without Tom. So I say they drop all the way down to the 3rd spot for me, as I think Falcons are going to take a step up.
Yeah, no, I think that I think the Falcons are a sleeper team, to be honest. I mean, I think they have the potential to be really good, especially depending on what they do in the draft.
Oh, for sure. Well, definitely a lot of fun talking about all the different conferences in the NFL and just all the shakeups that have been happening over this this off season. But we do have 2 minutes to get enrolled into this upcoming game, a little Vikings victory action. I think we're about to get into, as it has 2 different jackpots available in this game outside of just the great prizes you can win from 10th through 1st. But we got to go through the 10th through 1st player in Winter Wonderland, as we gave out some great cash in that.
Oh, 100%. Starting it off in 10th place, all the way from 10th to 6th place, they all took home $38. So just letting you know now. In 10th place, though, Louis over Eagle St. James. 9th place was West over at American Legion Wasaya. 8th place is Tubby over at Claremont Pub. 7th was Scobie over at Vesta Bar. 6th place was Lisa over at Thirsty's Bar. And then in 5th place, taking home $77, it was Skip Wins over the Northfield Golf Club. In 4th place, taking home $115, it was Milo over at Howie's Sports Bar and Grill. In 3rd place, also taking home $115, it was Player over at Outtakes. In 2nd place, it was Michelob over at Neeson Scalard, winning $135. And then in 1st place, we had Brad TNT over at American Legion Blue Earth, taking up that 1st place spot and also taking home $193. Nice job to all the players winning in that last game of Winter Wonderland.
Yeah, definitely some awesome stuff there. Just a quick update on our Timberwolves as they are taking on the Boston Celtics right now. We are right now losing 31 to 25. The bad guys are up by just a few points as they've had some good play out of a few different players. All the high scorers have 8 points. It's Jason Tatum, Malcolm Brogdon, as well as Jaylen Brown. All of them have put up some pretty decent points right there. But for us, Anthony Edwards has scored 10 points. Nice. It does look like Rudy Gobert is in this game as he was questionable heading into it.
That's right.
6 points from Kyle Anderson, who just came off of a triple-double in his last game. And so looking like some good stuff. Still a tight game that's going to have a lot of chaos in it. Right, Minnesota tied them for the first quarter. We both finished with 23 points at the end of the first.
Ooh, man, it looks like they're just getting turnovers on us, though, because they're only shooting 31% from the field.
Oh, okay.
We're shooting only 34% from the field, so it's looking kind of like an ugly game for both teams right now.
Defensive matchup right now.
But looks like we're keeping it pretty even, in numbers. It seemed like rebounds and points in the paint, that type of thing. So it looks like it's a pretty somewhat even game so far. Hopefully it ends up turning a little bit more in our favor. But until that point, Celtics fans are tweeting, it's a good thing the Wolves can't shoot. We can shoot sometimes.
Yeah, just like the Celtics.
That's right.
Who can shoot sometimes.
That's right. Some nights we're having a good time and we're like 9 of 12 from 3. But then other nights it's like tonight we're shooting 20% from beyond the arc.
Mm-hmm. I was just watching a little podcast of it was Paul George's new podcast. He just came out with a podcast.
I saw that. Yeah.
And he made a really cool statement about our own little Timberwolves player as they were kind of having a conversation about underrated, really talented guys in the NBA that may not be, household names in the NBA. And the guy he instantly mentioned was Jaden McDaniels. He was like, that dude, tall, lengthy, great feet, great hands, just a really solid player in the NBA. And the way he was talking about him was thinking that he's going to progress into something really, really special at some point in his career. And I think as Timberwolves fans, we've been seeing that for a long time as he leads the league in block. He'll lead the league in blocks at times. He'll be doing crazy for his position with steals. What was he, 50-50 club with steals and blocks?
Oh yeah, he was doing really good. He was like had the most steals and blocks or something for a position. It was something weird like that.
I think he was the only person a part of the 50-50 club.
Really?
I think he was the only one that had 50 steals and 50 blocks in the season.
At one point in the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was a stat that he had. But yeah, I mean, it's really cool. He's just kind of right now a very, very unique kind of player, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think he's the type of player we're going to be seeing a lot more of. As the NBA evolves. You know what I mean? He's just 6'9". He's a little skinny, but he's really strong still.
Mm-hmm.
And he just moves really well. He defends very well. He shoots really well. He does everything really well, too. He handles the ball really good as well. I mean, he's just kind of all over, really good at a lot of things.
Yeah, once he become a guy that can create his own shot, he can truly become like a stud in the NBA.
This dude is like one of the best pickup players of all time, though. Like, this guy's insane. Have you seen him play pickup ball before?
No, I haven't.
Stupid. He looks like Kevin Durant.
I mean, all these NBA dudes that are like.
But he'll be dribbling like that. Like he was straight up just like crossing dudes up and just like spinning around them and then just like pulling up and just going crazy.
Yeah, I think it's just a lack of seeing these guys in pickup.
Kelly Olynyk is that player too.
Because Kelly Olynyk will go out there and do it, and he actually post. It's just because the guys that post clips. But if you saw what Cam Reddish does to dudes outside of the NBA, what
those ultra skilled dudes that can't really translate it to the NBA sometimes.
Yeah, the guys that they can get a bucket at all times in the NBA. They still are bucket getters in the NBA, but they're just like, well, they don't. The other skills make it so they can't get regular time on the court.
They're not super efficient, maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, whatever it is. But they're just like dribble moves. They're behind the back.
Especially the bigger dudes. You know what I mean? Because when they're not competing against NBA speed, it's just done. It's over.
Oh, it is.
Especially with Jaden McDaniel, he's speedy enough. It doesn't really matter if it's NBA speed.
Ben Simmons.
Kelly Olynyk, though.
Pickup.
Yeah, Ben Simmons.
He'd be pulling up from deep three.
Yep, exactly.
In pickup.
Exactly. Yeah, he shoots in pickup. He legitimately is like a much better basketball player outside of the NBA. But yeah, like even dudes like Kevin Porter Jr. Are insane in pickup. Like just those big dudes that are still really fast.
They have a bit of a handle.
Yeah, exactly.
So insane.
Exactly.
So insane.
But there's a specific clip I'll have to pull up sometime of Jaden McDaniels because it was one of the craziest handles I've ever seen out of a dude that big. Because he had it on a string in front of this other dude, and I think it was at the Drew League.
Really?
I think it was at a Drew League or something like that.
That's
yeah.
He just has to develop it a little bit further.
It was totally at the Drew League.
He's such a good player, but I feel like his handle is just not quite NBA level.
Yeah.
Like it's really good for his size, but to be an NBA shot creator at 6'9", you have to have an amazing handle.
100%.
And so he just doesn't have that yet. And I think once he hits that, he just goes from being a really solid role player like he is right now to being like one of the better players within the NBA.
Exactly, 100%. But it's crazy stuff that these guys do all the time, especially when you do look like at those Drew League videos and stuff when they are just going crazy. But yeah, no, I'll pull up the specific clip of it later and we'll take a look at it. But yeah, definitely if you guys are Timberwolves fans, like look up some Jaden McDaniels clips outside of the NBA, and you can see some of the things that he can just do.
Yeah, super impressive stuff. It's always shocking to see what those guys can do.
100%. But as of right now, 36-26 for that Timberwolves game. We're just kind of chugging through at this point. Midway through the second quarter.
Hey,
so
correction. We're now only down by 8. It's 28-36.
That's what I'm talking about.
Live updates right here.
Right.
Why even watch the Timberwolves game when we can just update you on every score?
That's what I'm saying. So definitely good stuff going on with that. You keep tuned in with it. We'll keep talking about it too as the game progresses. But we do have we don't have a winner. We're in a tournament game. I saw golden lights flashing. I was like, oh, winner.
Ooh.
No, but Slater just got first place. Nice job, dudes. No, good job though, taking in first place for quite again. Nice job to them. But we were talking a little bit about some sports, and the Minnesota Wild have a game tonight too. It is Wild Wednesday, so of course we're going to be talking about the Wild as well. They're 38-21-8 on the season compared to the St. Louis Blues, who we're playing later, 29-32-5 for them.
Yes, the Blues right now in their last 10 games are 3-5-2. Us in our last 10 games, 7-0-3. One of the better stretches of us. The only issue is that the Stars are having a relatively similar stretch as they are 7-2-1.
Yep.
Now those 2 losses are big time losses for us as we get half points on those extra 2 games that we had overtime losses in compared to them. So we are gaining on them, but it is just step by step as we want to be, we need to get a little bit more wins to be able to, fully close that gap between us and the Stars.
Yeah, 100%. So we'll keep chugging along, hopefully, and get another win tonight will really help us out, especially in an in-division win too.
Yes.
But of course, until then, that's going to be rolling around for you guys at 8:30. So
just
not too long.
Yeah, just taking a look at all these teams. It looks like the highest scoring team for playoff points wise has been the Bruins in this season. Yeah, they've just been really dominant in this season as they have 105 playoff points. Hurricanes have been the second best in the Metropolis division with finishing right now with 96 playoff points.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. They're already 40-win teams. Bruins reached 40 wins a while ago.
Yeah, we've been the most competitive conference, the Central Division, as everybody's kind of really close. We have 3 teams with 80 points. We have the Jets with 79 playoff points, Predators with 75 playoff points.
Close too.
I mean, it is a very, very competitive league here where, I mean, how many times can you say the 4th team has 79 playoff points?
Wow, Pacific Division is actually kind of going off too.
It is.
They're in a similar spot to us.
Yeah, they definitely are. Yeah, you go to Atlantic Division,
there's a pretty big drop-off.
There's drop-off after that. Then there's a drop-off in the Metropolis Division. But us on the western side of the conference, we have some pretty deep divisions with the Central and Pacific divisions.
Agreed. So it's some interesting stuff going on. It's going to be fun to see where everybody lands at. But of course, next thing going on with the Wild is that game tonight, so be sure to tune in. It's happening pretty soon for you guys, so
yeah,
it's going to be a fun matchup.
Just a little bit,
That's right.
9:30. So
Or 8:30 Minnesota
Yeah,
time.
8:30 Minnesota time. That means just 30 minutes from now should be some real great stuff. And getting
right.
started before me and John get off air with you guys. We are in the
100%.
final 20 seconds of this game right here. It looks like there's a lot of players with plays left, so make sure you're binge doing those plays.
That's right.
You don't want to leave off on getting any of those points, as well as one of those lucky pays may end up getting you one of these jackpots you see right in front of us, as they look good as well. $551 on the small, $3,626 available on the large jackpot.
That's right. That's right. We did have a couple players not get all their plays out. Oh, it always hurts my heart a little bit to see that happen, but
It definitely does.
you guys finished in the top 10 anyway, so I don't feel too bad for you guys. But of course, we do have a pretty cool this day in history that happened today, and we can get into that. But before we do, Becky won. Nice job to you winning this game over at the Club New Yorker. $244 going to you. We'll be getting into the full top 10 though when we get those standings sent in. So definitely stick around for that. We'll announce all those winners. But on this day in history, on March 15th in 1968, construction starts on the North Tunnel of the Eisenhower/Johnson Memorial Tunnel on Interstate 70 in Colorado, some 60 miles west of Denver. Located at an elevation of more than 11,000 feet, the project was an engineering marvel and became the world's highest vehicular tunnel when it was completed in 1979. 4 months after opening, 1 million vehicles had passed through the tunnel. Today, some 10 million vehicles drive through it every year.
Wow,
That's
that
awesome.
is really, really cool stuff. That definitely is an interesting tunnel. I'm going to take a quick look at it as I want to search this thing up and see what it looks like. Wow, that is an insanely long tunnel. And
Wow. Well, that's pretty cool.
yeah, super interesting. I mean, not too crazy to look at,
It
but
just
I
looks
mean,
like any of those other mountain tunnels.
yeah, definitely really cool. Oh, you can see some pictures of the construction of it.
That's pretty sick. I'm
And
not going to lie.
That looks really, really cool, seeing the different old construction pictures of it, as it looks like very intricate detail had to go into being able to build this
man.
and make sure that it didn't collapse upon
Safe.
itself.
Yeah, seriously.
Really interesting stuff. I mean, definitely a hard task to do.
Dude, I just can't imagine how many delays there must have been making that. Like, just how, like, going through the winter time and stuff like that, having to deal with snow. Like, that must have been a tough project, dude.
Yeah, definitely. Looks super crazy. So,
It's cool, though. Cool
yeah,
stuff.
Definitely a cool day in history on today.
Yeah.
But as we are talking about things that happened in history on today, let's talk about some movies that were released on today. As in 2002, Ice Age was released.
Awesome. Pretty cool. Yeah, Ice Age is great. Great franchise,
a
too.
classic one that you can't live without.
100%.
You got so many great characters in that. You got Sid the Sloth, Scrat, one of my favorite characters of the entire series has to be Scrat.
Oh, 100%.
As he is the cause of every single big event that happened to the world. Which I love that addition to the Ice Age franchise. Like, he's the one that started the continental drift and everything by just going after his nut. I thought that was awesome.
Oh, it's super, super funny. Yeah, he was a very well done character. I feel like it was just always kind of like never. I don't think. Did they ever meet him? Like, did the main characters ever meet him?
I don't know if they ever meet him. He might appear,
forget.
but I don't think they ever conversate with him or anything like
no,
that. That never happens.
Let's see. Did Scrat ever meet main characters? Let's see. Scrat is the main character in the Ice Age 2 The Meltdown video game.
Okay, well, there you go.
Does Scrat ever meet Manny? Oh, okay, he does. He later meets Manny, Sid, and Diego with the human baby Roshan. Oh, Scrat first attacks Sid when he tries to eat his acorn. Oh, so this was in the very first movie. It must have been like a little like.
Yeah, I must just forget. I don't watch these movies often enough to really
No.
remember the very little details of it. Oh, but it must have been a quick interaction between them.
Yeah, I think it's probably just off and on interactions that they always have.
I love Ray Romano. Great actor playing
100%.
Manny.
Yeah, no, I agree with that for sure. You know, Drake was in Drake and Nicki Minaj were in one of the Ice Ages.
Really?
Yeah, they were in the one where Manny has kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
which
think that's the Meltdown.
That might be. It might be Continental Drift.
It could be Continental Drift as well.
Yep. There he is.
Yeah, that is. Nicki Minaj is in it, and Drake is in it as well.
That's right. Yeah.
That's so weird.
No, it's really funny. Drake plays like the daughter's like crush or whatever.
That's so good.
Yeah, it's funny. It's a funny one. I like it when those comedy movies they get little cameos and that sort of thing.
For sure. Especially when it's animated and it's just a voice. I think that's always really fun as well.
Wait, did a new one just come out?
Yes.
This past year?
2022.
Oh, I don't think I watched it.
Yeah, it's The Adventures of Buck Wild, which is the eye patch guy from when they go into the
this guy
underworld area.
That makes sense. So yeah, I didn't even really hear too much about this, to be honest.
Yeah, I always hear about them, but I never I don't watch them anymore. I think the last one I ended up watching was I think I actually ended up watching Collision Course.
Collision Course?
Ice Age Collision Course,
okay.
Which actually ended up being pretty decent. I did not expect it to be good, as I had taken a huge break of them after watching Ice Age The Meltdown, Ice Age Dawn of the Dinosaurs, and then I think I watched Ice Age Continental Drift, and I was like, okay, they're falling off. I'm not as into them anymore. I'm going to stop watching these things as they come out.
Continental Drift was definitely the last one I saw.
And then I watched Collision Course, and it was actually pretty funny. So I have to give it to them.
Yeah, no, I feel like I'd probably like it if I watched it, to be honest. But yeah, cool stuff going on with the Ice Age. I mean, it's an iconic, I think at this point, a very classic kids series, to be honest.
Absolutely
it's a movie I'll definitely probably show to my kids one day. So pretty cool stuff. Happy birthday to Ice Age. Up next, though, the incredible Burt Wonderstone released on this day in 2013.
Yeah, this is a Steve Carell, Steve Buscemi classic.
Yeah,
and
there's Jim Carrey in it too.
Yes, Jim Carrey actually plays the
partner,
the evil.
Oh, the evil.
Yeah, he was the evil dude of the entire series.
And Steve Buscemi's the partner.
Yes, Steve Buscemi's the partner. Jim Carrey's the one that's stealing all of their audience.
Oh, okay.
And he's
that's
like
funny.
the up and coming magician.
Okay.
That is stealing their classic act that they've been doing for years.
Nice.
And they no longer have that. And basically, then Jim Carrey's whole entire shtick is that he doesn't do magic. He just hurts himself and then acts like it doesn't hurt. And so then he's like, magic. And that's how that works.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's funny because I've never actually heard of this movie, really.
Really?
Yeah, no, I didn't even really know
I had
this came
just
out.
recently watched it. This year was the first time I'd watched it because I had never heard of it as well.
Nice.
And then I saw it randomly scrolling through, I think, HBO Max.
Yeah.
And
dude, it's totally Chris Angel that he's supposed to be going for.
is that what it is?
I feel like it. He looks like Chris Angel.
He's driving around in a van, like videotaping these street side performances and stuff like that. If that's what Chris Angel did.
I don't know. Here, let's take a look. Let's see if there's any. Oh yeah, I forgot that he spells his name weird. No. Wait, was Chris Angel? Oh no, somebody was just adding Chris Angel about it. I think it's probably just a reference to magicianry in Las Vegas in general. Dude, do you know Chris Angel though? He's the dude that would float. Like he'd float.
No,
randomly.
I never watched him.
And that was just his big thing. He would just go out and float. And people were like, "No way, he can float. He's a real magician.
He's a real magician."
Yeah, but it was just that was.
Did they ever figure out why he could float?
I don't know.
Did they ever Did they ever figure out his tricks, his floating tricks?
Let's take a look. See, he would just he'd do this. He'd just go up and do this.
Okay, if he's making the same pose every single time, I'm just gonna let you know it's fake.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, and this was another one he did. Yeah, he would just
because
straight up float.
He wouldn't make the same pose. If he could move around and do stuff while he was in the air, I'd be like, yeah, that may be real. But he's just keeping stiff in the same pose while he floats.
How does Chris? Yeah, he also walked on water. So I don't know. There's a lot going on. It's kind of fishy. Maybe he can actually do this stuff. How does Chris Angel float? Let's take a look. I don't know. So by standing at a certain angle so that the audience can only see one foot and the back heel.
It's the shadow trick.
Is it the shadow trick?
Yes, and it's to just make yourself levitate for a little bit, and it you can hide your foot in the shadow of your other foot and make it.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's how that works, from what I remember.
Let's see. I'll take a look at.
Because I think it became really popular on TikTok to do. at one point.
Thanks for this person. She said, yeah, I've seen his Vegas show from fairly close up, and yes, he does it all live. No, I don't have any idea how he does it. Thanks, Gail.
That's awesome.
Very, very funny. But yeah, I'm sure it's I don't know. I would think that maybe he would have different methods to do it to keep people guessing. In different situations, maybe. You know what I mean? Because he does it in public. He does it. He goes out to people and he films it on the side of the street and will just be like, "I'm floating now," and then he'll just float. And then people are freaking out at him.
That's so funny.
Yeah. No, he's really funny.
But back to the movie Burt Wonderstone, a great one. It's just entertaining. Steve Buscemi, you got Olivia Wilde. She plays the main love interest in that one. Nice. You got Alan Arkin, one of my favorite actors of all time. I'm a huge Alan Arkin fan. You got James Gandolfini. He's a pretty good actor as well as he's in
a couple of The Sopranos mostly.
Yeah, that's what he's mostly known for.
Yeah. But he's been in a few other
He does a good job in that one as well. You got John Francis Daly.
Yeah, he's fun. He's always fun.
Yeah. I don't. What else is he in outside of?
Bones is I think the biggest thing.
Oh, he's in Bones.
Yeah, he's like the like tech, not tech dude, but he's just like there kind of. I forget who he is. I forget what his job is. But yeah, he's like one of the main dudes.
Is he really?
Yeah,
I do not remember him. Okay, he totally is.
Yeah.
I'm just like blanking on it because I could not remember him to save my life because I watched a lot of Bones growing up because that's like my little brother's favorite show.
He was the little brother in Freaks and Geeks.
Yes, that
was really good. Oh, good news though about the Timberwolves. Only 1 point gap now that we're at halftime, 44-43.
Awesome
Pretty cool.
stuff. Definitely great for our Timberwolves heading into halftime.
Oh, 100%. But yeah, no, he's pretty funny though. That one doing Freaks and Geeks and all those other movies.
Yeah, he does a good job in all those different things. So definitely awesome stuff on this movie released on today, The Incredible Burt Wonderstone. But the last movie that was released on today in 2019 was The Highwaymen. This is a pretty entertaining one.
It was a good movie. I liked it. Kevin Costner was in it. Who was the other dude that played? Woody Harrelson was the dude who played beside
Kathy
him.
Bates, another great actress. Kim Dickens is another good actress. She's just such a good Southern mom. Like she just plays a great Southern mom.
Isn't she in like Yellowstone or something?
I haven't watched Yellowstone, so I wouldn't know.
No, she's not. No, she's not.
Yeah, I don't know what you'd be.
I was just asking. She looks like somebody from Yellowstone.
I think I remember her from The Blind Side.
She's in Sons of Anarchy. That's a fun show. Have you ever seen Sons of Anarchy?
No, I have not watched Sons of Anarchy.
It's pretty decent. Oh, she was in Gone Girl. Interesting.
Yes.
I wonder who she was in that.
Yeah,
I'm probably just like one of the friends or something like that.
Yeah, she plays detective.
Oh, she plays the detective. That was a good movie.
Yeah,
that was a really good one.
I haven't seen that one. I know Jordy suggested it to me a few times, but I've never ended up watching it. I know the premise of it, but I've just never been in the mood to watch a movie like that. It's weird to get into. Like I don't know. Like,
it's a good mystery.
Okay, well if I think of it as a mystery, then I'll enjoy it.
Yeah, that's how Reagan and I watched it. We watched it as a mystery, like what's gonna happen?
Oh, okay.
Because it does keep you on your toes. You never really know what's going on.
But Highwaymen was really good. You had
great movie. Yeah.
Who was playing? Okay. There's Clyde was played by Edward Bozert.
Okay. Interesting. Who are you looking for?
Because isn't it them chasing Bonnie and Clyde?
No. This is the Highwaymen is they're doing it was like chasing like a whatchamacallit, like a bank robber or something like that. I don't think it was Bonnie and Clyde, was it?
I thought it was.
This maybe? I don't think so.
The Highwaymen.
Oh, no, it is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's about chasing Bonnie and Clyde. I thought it was.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of a different movie, low key. But I did watch this one, and this one was good too.
Yeah, I very much enjoyed this one. I thought it was definitely a good one.
Oh man, which one am I thinking of then?
Is it a different Kevin Costner film?
I think it might have. Oh man, I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to look.
It's gonna be too hard for you to figure it out.
No,
so
like, if I could have thought about it in 5 seconds, I totally would have done. But I don't know.
Definitely some awesome awesome ones in history, as we had Ice Age in 2002, The Incredible Burt Wonderstone in 2003, and 2019, The Highwaymen. You guys just have about 30 seconds to finish up this game. Actually, me and John are going to be going on a little bit of a break while you guys get enrolled into the upcoming game, Ice Fishing Derby, but we'll be back during that game to give out some great prizes as well as announce some big-time winners.
We're at the Ledge Amphitheater in White Park, Minnesota.
I saw the Blues Brothers 2 years ago with these guys.
Blues Brothers 2 years ago was a lot of fun. Prior to that, it was the Beach Boys, and with John Stamos, it was awesome.
I have never been to a PyCon event before. This is my first time, and I am loving it.
Yeah, this is incredible. We pulled in, parked, got some free beers, amazing free food.
Famous Days!
Hey everyone, Famous Dave here, smoking up the best ribs in America.
We're having a great time so far. We got a picture with John Randall. It's pretty awesome.
John Randall is like my favorite.
Skol, 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 baby!
Really cool seeing John Kriesel. Really cool listening to him talking his story.
This is my first PyCon, and I've had a blast.
Willie is my favorite.
I'm excited for Willie Nelson.
I grew up listening to Willie Nelson my whole life.
Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson! Have a really nice day!
The entertainment, the people watching, cocktails, t-shirts.
Drink and eat and be with everybody.
Fabulous experience.
Either way, I don't know why you would miss this. That's all I gotta say.
He said we're making sure to come every year.
Get your butt here, man. Get your butt here.
Hey guys, and we are here for some more great bingo. We got to just 18 minutes for you guys to finish up all your plays in this amazing game of Ice Fishing Derby. Should be some really fun stuff as you guys get after it. But since we are on the ice in this in an ice fishing derby, we might as well talk about some snowplows, because you guys named some snowplows just a little bit ago in the snowplow naming contest. Here's some of them. For Southwest Minnesota, you got Yura Blizzard Harry. We got Blizzo for the Twin Cities. Clear Opastra over in Northeast Minneapolis. In Northeast Minnesota. Central Minnesota, they're getting Better Call Salt. In the South Central Minnesota, you get Han Solo. In northwestern Minnesota, you get Blader Tot Hot Dish. Nice. Southeast Minnesota, Scoop, there it is. And in west central Minnesota, you get Sleetwood Mac.
Love it. Definitely some good ones scattered in there. But of course, we do have this game rolling around, and we are 17 minutes away from the end. Remember to use up all those plays. My final reminder. But as we are plowing on through this game, we do have some awesome celebrity birthdays to get into. And we got celebrity birthdays all the way from 1935 to 1975. So starting it off today in 1935 is Judd Hirsch. He is an American Emmy and Tony Award-winning stage and screen actor, mostly known for being Alex in the show Taxi, known for I'm Not Rappaport, Dear John, and Ordinary People as well.
Yeah, definitely some great stuff there. Let's see if we can find out a little bit more about him. Very much known at playing Alex Rieger in the television comedy series Taxi. He played John Lacey in Dear John and Alan Epps in the CBS series Numbers.
Awesome stuff. And it looks like he was in a movie recently, The Fabelmans, and I heard a lot about that movie.
Really?
It was directed by somebody big, I think. Wait, go down really quick. Steven Spielberg.
Oh,
did it. Yeah.
Steven Spielberg did that.
Yeah, and,
okay.
it was a pretty decent cast as
What
well.
has Steven Spielberg been doing lately? I haven't watched a lot of his current. I don't know if I've watched a lot of his current movies that he's put out.
I'm not sure. So The Fabelmans is the most recent one. West Side Story, that was another pretty big one. Ready Player One.
Oh, he did Ready Player One. I
yeah.
just rewatched that for the first time. I actually I didn't have a good impression of it the very first time I watched it, so I took a long time not watching it.
Yeah.
And then I watched it a second time, and I was like, wow, this is actually a pretty cool concept right here.
Yeah. Okay.
Have you watched it?
No, I haven't watched it.
Yeah, it's a very cool concept and kind of realistic in today's society.
Yeah.
Not super, but
like virtual reality kind of
yeah,
stuff.
it's like a virtual reality competition though,
Yeah.
like that has turned into half reality, half non. It's a pretty cool movie. Also looking at some more. Oh, he's doing the Indiana Jones new Indiana Jones movie.
Cool. I like it. Oh, he
did all the Indiana Jones movies.
Wait, go back up really quick. He did 2 of Tom Cruise's biggest movies. He did Minority Report and War of the Worlds.
Wow.
It was funny. I knew he did War of the Worlds, to be honest. I did not know he did Minority Report.
Yes.
That's a pretty big one.
Yeah, definitely. Did you ever watch the Minority Report show?
No.
Right. Isn't that
I think
you have the right thing.
I think so. I think that's a news show though, low key. I think the Minority Report's a news show. Here, let me see.
No, it was a 2015.
It was 2015?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think I saw it then.
Yeah, because it's all about the people who could see into the future.
Yep.
They could see crimes or whatever it is before it happens.
So they made a show about it.
Yes, they made a whole show. I remember someone in my family watching the show, but I was never too into it. I think it was my dad that really enjoyed it.
I got you.
As he liked the original movie,
Yes.
Minority Report. I think he actually told me at one point that he liked the show better than he liked the movie.
Interesting.
So, take that however. My dad does have pretty bad movie opinions. So, I'm just going to put that out there before you guys go and watch it.
100%.
But just talking about Steven Spielberg recent stuff, because he casted Judd Hirsch in his newest movie, The Fabelmans, for 2022.
Well, what is The Fabelmans about?
Let's find out a little bit more, as it is about a young Sammy Fabelman who falls in love with movies after his parents take him to see the greatest show on earth. Armed with a camera, Sammy starts to make his own films at home, much to the delight of his supportive mother.
I wonder if that's based on Steven Spielberg.
That would be interesting. I would love for him to do a movie about himself.
It is. The Fablemans is very much the true story of Spielberg's real-life parents, Leah and Arnold, and younger siblings, Aunt Sue and Nancy. Okay.
That's awesome.
That's
I
funny.
like that.
Yeah, that is fun.
I'm excited to see.
Especially kind of at the end of your directing career, kind of nearing it, just that doing that sort of thing. That's fun.
Do you see who's going to be playing basically Steven Spielberg's father?
Paul Dano.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Interesting casting, because I always see him as a younger guy.
That's right. He's getting older, though.
But he is getting older. He just looks still super young.
Yes.
Like, he doesn't look that old, even as he's getting older.
True.
I just always think he looks young.
Yeah, he was good in, he's been good in all the movies he's been in, to be honest. There Will Be Blood is one of my favorites that he's in. He was crazy in that one. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my gosh.
He was in Prisoners. That one was he was good in this movie too.
I forgot that he was in it because he has the black hair in it.
That's right, and he swore a vow of silence for most of the movie.
Yeah, he didn't talk at all.
That's right.
This is why I like Alan Larkin. That's why I like.
He's good in that one.
He is really good in Little Miss Sunshine. As well as it has a really sad storyline as well that means a lot.
That's right.
So I liked it. He did a really good acting job, and that's why I like Alan Larkin as much as I did. But
100%.
I did not realize that Paul Dano was the brother in that film.
Yeah, he's in a lot of really random things. He's in Okia as well. That was that Netflix movie about environmentalism and a lot of random other things.
Yes.
He was in 12 Years a Slave. I didn't even know he was in that movie. That's interesting. He was in, let's see, some other weird ones he might have been in. He was in Looper. Who was he in Looper?
I have no idea.
He was in Where the Wild Things Are. He was in that one. He was in Cowboys and Aliens.
That's
awesome. Did the one in Daniel Craig? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. That was hilarious.
I very much so remember Cowboys and Aliens. That was a great movie.
That was a good movie. He was in Warcraft.
I'm kind of upset that it's not Cowboys versus Aliens, but it's
I
okay.
agree, dude.
I feel like
I always called it that.
I always called it Cowboys versus Aliens, and so I'm a little upset that they didn't go with that.
Yeah, 100%.
It's another Olivia Wilde movie.
He got randomly credited for that World of Warcraft movie for no reason.
Interesting.
That was funny. But yeah, a lot of really fun celebrity birthdays on this day, though, and Judd Hirsch is just the beginning of it.
Yeah, still working actor to this day.
That's right.
Next up, born in 1941, we got Cecil the Turtle, a Warner Brothers cartoon character created by Tex Avery, obviously a part of the Looney Tunes and Merry Melody series. Yeah, Cecil the Turtle, I very much remember him from the Turtle versus the Hare short that they had on their episodes, which I very much enjoyed of them. Big Warner Brothers kid growing up.
Yeah, 100%. Cecil Turtle, happy birthday to you. Up next, though, in 1959, Harold Baines was born. He's an American Baseball Hall of Fame outfielder, 6-time MLB All-Star, won a World Series in Chicago, was with the Texas Rangers, the Oakland A's, and the Baltimore Orioles as well. And he was also a coach for the Chicago White Sox when they won that World Series in 2005.
Awesome stuff. Really, really great player and coach within baseball.
Dude has the coach look. He
totally does.
Gosh, dude.
He looks like such a coach.
Yeah, he does.
He was a right fielder and designated hitter in the Major League Baseball. He played for five American League teams through 1980 to 2001. Best known for his 3 stints with the Chicago White Sox.
Awesome. Well, hey, happy birthday to Harold Baines. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks like
something will feel different. Oh, apparently he had a pretty traumatic thing happening recently.
Wow.
He had life-saving heart and kidney transplant surgery at Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore just a year ago.
Wow, I'm glad that he was able to get through that.
Yeah, apparently he's better than ever, though. Really, really cool.
Wow. Yeah, he was just talking about how it's going to just feel different walking to the stadium this time around after having a life-changing event like that.
Yeah, but it's different walking in the bathroom. It's different, and just knowing oh my gosh, I'm fine.
I'm good.
After probably a very traumatic few weeks in the hospital. You know what I mean? Man, yeah, no, that's crazy. Good for him, dude. I love seeing that type of thing. Just people doing way better after, very, very bad health concerns. So that's really cool. Good for Harold Baines, and we love to see that he reached another birthday and is continuing to have a really cool life. Being a Major League Baseball player, Major League coach as well, definitely very decorated.
Yeah, next up on our celebrity birthday list, born in 1967, we got Noko
Like Takuchi, probably?
Takuchi, a Japanese manga artist, did Sailor Moon, one of the biggest manga series of all time.
That's right.
So huge shout out to her, as well as she's kind of in like one of the biggest power couples of like manga series.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure with
right.
her and her husband being a part of Hunter x Hunter.
That's right, yeah. So he created Hunter x Hunter, and she created Sailor Moon, and they've actually worked with each other, like kind of interchangeably on their own stuff. But, I mean, she definitely has the title of most successful, though, because Sailor Moon is just on a different level. You know what I mean?
It totally is. Like, I mean, how many series, how many different action figures,
Right.
how many different
the
random
merch.
things.
See, with anime and manga, that's really what they make the money off of.
Is the merch.
Yeah, and with something like Sailor Moon.
It was very marketable.
Very marketable. Like, people sell it. It's sold at Disney. Like, they sell Sailor Moon things at Disney. You know what I mean? So Sailor Moon is just huge for Japan. So, I mean, really cool stuff. I love Sailor Moon. My sister loved it when we were growing up. And
Yeah,
I loved it right along with her.
She turned 56 today. She's still working as a head executive for the Sailor Moon series that is coming out. And she started it when she was only 24 years old. That is the same age as me. So that's really, really cool stuff.
That's awesome. That's really cool. So, yeah, very happy birthday to her. That's a really, really cool person to have been born on this day. Yeah, really, really cool stuff.
Yeah, definitely really, really awesome stuff. And hopefully, still putting out great stuff. Next up, though, on our celebrity birthday list, born in 1972, we got Mike Tomlin, American NFL coach, won the Super Bowl in 2008. At that time, he was the youngest coach to win a Super Bowl for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's some pretty awesome stuff. Happy birthday to Mike Tomlin. Yeah, let's take a look at some of the stuff he's got going on.
Yeah.
He's a huge players coach. Players love playing for him. So, that's garnered a lot of good attention for the Steelers during his tenure there.
Makes $8 million per year coaching for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's crazy, man. Who is the highest paid coach?
Bill Belichick is the #1 coach. Then Sean Payton, Pete Carroll, Sean McVay, which is insane because you usually have to earn your way onto that top list, which, I mean, Sean McVay has. But, I mean, to be making more than Mike Tomlin is crazy to me.
Kind of crazy.
As, Mike Tomlin's just been, he's going to go in the Hall of Fame as a head coach. I think Sean McVay will as well. But if he retired right now and never came back to coaching, I don't know if he can make it there with his resume. But, I mean, craziness, 14 a year. Then it's Mike Tomlin, Mike Vrabel with 9, and then Doug Peterson with $8 million a year.
What has Vrabel done to warrant that?
He had a really good year, but I mean, like, at that point when you're getting to those guys, I feel like that's more, once you drop out of the tens of millions every year, I feel like that's when you get to people that I'm
most
like.
People.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
okay, no, but they skipped over some people.
They did.
Because you have Andy Reid, John Harbaugh, Kyle Shanahan, Josh McDaniels, tied for 8th and 6th.
Josh McDaniels made $10 million?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
He makes good money. Mike Vrabel then is the 10th highest paid coach.
Oh, wow. That's weird that Josh McDaniels made that much money.
Yeah. But Josh McDaniels, I mean, the reasoning is he was years successful with New England, and he literally wouldn't leave New England as the offensive coordinator unless he got a payday.
I got
kind of thing.
Okay, that makes sense then.
So that's why he ended up getting so much money comparative to most new head coaches, was because he just didn't want to become a head coach unless he was getting really good money.
Yeah, that's what they needed to get him out of there. Interesting stuff. Well, hey, happy birthday to Mike Tomlin, though. A little bit better of a success story than Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But up next in 1975, we got one more celebrity to round off this list with, and it's none other than Will I Am. He's an American singer-songwriter, a rapper, and musician, mostly known for the Black Eyed Peas, but he's had a very successful solo career, too. So, yeah, really cool stuff. Happy birthday, Will I Am.
Great acting career as well.
Dude,
don't want to forget about that acting career.
Agreed. Oh, yeah, this is his website.
I
yeah.
did not realize if I was going to look up Will.i.am on the search bar because usually it just pops up to the Google search of it.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. Oh, gosh, that makes it so much better that I searched it up there.
No, it's awesome, dude. I love Will.i.am.
But he's a really good. He's known professionally as Will.i.am. His real name's William James Adams Jr. He is a rapper, singer, songwriter, actor, and record producer. He rose to prominence as the founder and lead member of the Black Eyed Peas. As a solo artist, Will.i.am has released 4 albums, beginning with Lost Change through Atlantic Records.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And he also appeared as Moto in Madagascar. Escape to Africa. He also made that song too, which was really cool. That's right. That's right.
So good.
He did in fact manufacture that. Rio, he was really fun in that one too. Yeah, and he was one of the judges on The Voice, and that was a pretty big deal for him too.
Okay.
Yeah.
UK though.
Yes, and that was a fun one.
Is he from the UK?
No, he's American.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, that's why I was wondering because for The Voice UK, apparently they just didn't have a spot in the USA one for him.
That's right. Will.i.am was just more popular than any UK dude that year.
That's funny. But yeah, he's done a few things. The Rookie and 2018 he did work in. He's also worked in the Cleveland Show, which I know is a popular spinoff off of the Family Guy series.
They get a good amount of cameos and stuff on that show.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty fun. Yeah, I'm sure, dude, that's probably like such a fun career to have. To be honest,
just being such an entertainer.
Yeah.
Like that's, I think of that with him and Justin Timberlake. I think in very similar lights as like just straight up entertainers.
Justin Timberlake has had some of the funniest like skits and little like things that I've ever seen. Like, dude, Barry Gibb Talk Show is so funny to me. It's such a good one. It's a Saturday Night Live skit with Jimmy Fallon.
Good.
All of the songs he's made with Andy Samberg on The Lonely Island, so funny to me. He gets raunchy too, though. Like,
does he?
He gets raunchy.
I haven't seen a lot of his stuff, to be honest. I love
when it gets with SNL. Like SNL just has no filter sometimes.
Oh,
and
for
so,
sure.
Like he just lets it happen. Mm-hmm. But we do have. We'll check in with that Timberwolves game that just was happening. Unfortunately, we are down in the dumps, kind of. Again, we're 64-55, halfway through the third quarter.
Seems like the pattern of every single quarter. We go down by 10, and then we slowly creep our way back into the game. And so, I mean, should be some interesting stuff. We tied them in the first quarter. They only beat us by 1 point in the second quarter, and now they're up by 8 points in the third quarter. But I think we can really push this to a lot closer as we continue through this game. Anthony Edwards has been having a pretty good game, 18 points, 4 assists, and 6 rebounds. We need to see some more rebounds out of Rudy Gobert, as he's only gotten 5 rebounds on the game. With them not having Robert Williams, I was expecting a little bit more rebounding out of him.
Man, the thing with that starts with Rudy Gobert sometimes is that, like, it really doesn't matter who they match up against him. He's going to do the same thing offensively no matter what.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, unless, like, you put him against Joel Embiid, and then, of course, he's not having a good night
That's why I think Karl-Anthony Towns is a big-time ad for us, is we can kind of expose some matchup things that we can't expose right now.
I agree with that. I think Rudy Gobert is definitely very limiting on what you can do offensively, to be honest, but he can make up for it if he's playing good defensively. You know what I mean? It just sucks because it seems like it doesn't happen all the time. You know what I mean?
I really don't know how I feel about Rudy Gobert in this season.
Yeah.
I don't think he's horrible. Do I think he was worth the amount we trade him for?
No.
Probably not. But
not at all.
Yeah, not at all. Especially when you look at now the trades that happened during the season and that
and you see how valuable these individual players have come from the trade. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's like, oh, we could have traded less than what we did for Rudy Gobert for guys that are considered at higher levels than Rudy Gobert.
If you think about it, we traded Walker Kessler, we traded Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt. It was another really big one. And also, we don't even know what those picks are going to become too. They may become better players than Rudy Gobert too. But with that stuff, it becomes hindsight 2020. But before we go further on about the shortfalls of the Timberwolves, we do have Amber over at Riverside Store and Tavern taking away that $176 prize in the first place. Nice job to you, Amber. And the rest of the top 10 winners on this game, we'll be getting into you top 10 winners in just a little bit when we get those official standings.
Oh, yeah, definitely awesome stuff to all you guys in that game of Ice Fishing Derby. We are now going to be getting enrolled into our final 2 games of the night.
Yes.
A little bit of game day bingo action. Should be some awesome stuff here as me and John already warmed up our game day bingo muscles during this lunchtime. So we're ready to chuck out some jackpots as we already got a $4,270 prize, 52 balls or less. The minor prize at the exact same ball count as the major prize, so we'll have to wait till the second game with you guys if we want to give out that minor prize, as you'll have to click up to 54 balls or less. And then we also got that mega prize, $23,337. You can take home in 47 balls or less. All should be some great stuff as you guys are getting after it in this game. Just 3 minutes and 50 seconds to get into this one.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But in the meantime, we are going to be getting into a little bit of some Minnesota Vikings news. And we got some pretty cool stuff going on. If you guys didn't know, we just signed Byron Murphy like yesterday, so it's pretty new news. He was the number 33 overall pick in the 2019 NFL Draft and the number 25 overall player in Greg Rosenthal's top 100 free agents. He has 5 career interceptions, 34 passes defended, 5 fumble recoveries, and 2 defensive touchdowns in 56 games played, which I'm going to be honest, it's really good statistically for a cornerback. So he's looking really good. He had a pretty decent year this last year, but a little bit of a down year just because Cardinals were kind of bad. I'm going to be honest.
Oh, big news. Big news just coming out 16 minutes ago. Vikings re-sign running back Alexander Madison to a 2-year, $7 million deal.
Wow, cheap too.
Yeah, so he got paid. I mean, a little bit. I mean, that's still good money, though, for a 2-year deal for a running back.
Yes.
Getting about $3.5 million
especially
a year.
Considering whatchamacallit. Not a lot of people are high on him like we are.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Just because he doesn't get a lot of looks.
Do you think that confirms that Dalvin Cook is going? Because that was like
it points even more to that.
Oh, I think so. Absolutely. Yeah. That Tim getting signed, that may be the reason why we didn't make a big splash this time, because we were trying to wait for the Alexander Madison signing, because I was expecting some big time splashes to happen today with the Dalvin Cook stuff and all the different stuff. I was expecting, a lot of Vikings news happening in this on this Wednesday, but it didn't quite happen. And so I was pretty surprised, but it also looks like that teams are calling in to see about the availability of Daniil Hunter.
Yeah, very, very true.
Yeah,
so.
How do you feel about that? Do you think that would it just matter on the trade package? Is he untouchable? What is your thoughts on Daniil Hunter?
I think it depends on the trade package, but knowing what he's probably going to garner on the trade market, I'd say he's untouchable.
Untouchable just because it's not enough that they would be able to give up.
No. I mean, what kind of dude are you going to get that's going to make the same difference that Daniil Hunter can make, to be honest? So, I just don't think we're going to get that in the 5th round or anything like that. So, I feel comfortable just holding on to him for now, to be honest. He's a big cornerstone of our defense. I just don't see us getting somebody that can make that kind of impact through the draft or even in free agency right now.
And just to put this out here, as some people were talking about Marcus Davenport not being, the top, there was kind of I saw mixed reviews on Marcus Davenport, but here's a little fun fact is you don't want to undersell him to yourself as a prospect for our Vikings. Marcus Davenport was PFF's #1 ranked free agent edge rusher this year. Above players like Frank Clark, Brandon Graham, Javion Clowney, and Yannick Ngakoue, Davenport was ranked 21st on PFF's entire free agent big board, ahead of Cam Sutton and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Wow, that's really, really generous of them. That's crazy.
Yeah, they like him a lot. PFF thinks he's really, really good.
They like him because he was really, really rated high in his like efficiency ratings or whatever.
So he just doesn't play a lot. That might be the thing is that he just doesn't get enough time on the field.
Yeah, he ranked out of all people that were eligible for the statistic, it was 15th and 17th out of the whole league.
Wow,
which was a pretty big deal. Considering how like you said, he doesn't really get a lot of playing time.
Yeah, he's a good good player. I'm excited to see what this defense could do. I think Byron Murphy was an improvement on this team for sure, as I think he's an even better. I love Patrick Peterson, and I don't want to talk bad about him, but getting a young, talented cornerback like that is an upgrade over Patrick Peterson in that one as well.
100%. And just going to what PFF said about him. So this is a little tidbit. Since he entered the league in 2018, Marcus Davenport's 17.8% pass rush win rate and 13.9% pressure percentage are both top 20 marks among edge defenders. And he's also earned a very respectable 82.1 run defense grade for his career, which ranks 16th over that span.
Wow.
Yeah, and he has 5 straight campaigns grading above 70, so whenever he touches the field, he's good. He does good.
I like the signing a lot for
agree.
us. I think he's going to do some real good damage for us on that defense.
100%.
And I like Byron Murphy as well, as I think he's going to improve within this system as well. Just going from the dysfunctional Arizona Cardinals over to the very functional Vikings, ranking #1 in the NFL Players Association rankings. So I'm very excited to see. He's no longer with Cliff Kingsbury.
No, 100%.
And distracted by his dashing good looks.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. I'm wondering,
Cliff Kingsbury has to be the only guy I've ever seen hired just because he sat in a room with a different coach and looked similar to him.
Yeah, very true.
Sean McVay got Cliff Kingsbury hired because he had done nothing in the NFL, in the college
and
football.
it sucks because it seemed like he was good at first.
Yeah, because he's pretty good off. I think he could be an offensive coordinator in the NFL. To be honest, I actually do think he could be an offensive coordinator in the NFL. I just think he needs a head coach to be able to manage the entire rest of the team around him.
Okay.
But I think schematics, I don't think he's a horrible schematics guy.
Yeah, I just can't really keep a team together like, a head coach should.
Head coach is a very, very intricate position outside that. We do have a jackpot going out. No, it's a double Musco on this one.
Because we left off.
$243, bigger than the minor prize, which is why I thought it was a jackpot. But Buck over at Paradise Resort Bar and Grill taking home a great Musco of $243 in this game. Good job, Buck, as we will now be getting enrolled into this final game of this Wild Wednesday. Don't worry, you guys will get more great game day bingo opportunities even after this. But we want to give out a great jackpot before we leave off. Over $100, 54 balls or less, $4,000, 52 balls or less, and $23,000 sitting at 47 balls or less. All should be some great stuff as we are getting into this game.
Yeah, 100%. But we were talking just, random stuff about the NFL. Cliff Kingsbury doing his thing. I was just looking him up to see. I wanted to see if he got a new job anywhere, but looks like he's just
he'll be looking for a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if he
goes back to college.
He could be going back to college. If I was him, I would be trying to find an offensive coordinator spot in the NFL.
Chiefs. Go back to the Chiefs.
Yeah, they did just lose their offensive coordinator. You get to go sit in a room with Andy Reid, which is one of the best offensive geniuses in the entire NFL.
Yeah. And he worked with Patrick Mahomes in the past.
Yeah, he was his coach in college. So I think that and a lot of people credit him to making Patrick Mahomes do a lot of what he is. I think. So I wouldn't be upset if he joined the Chiefs coaching staff. I think it would be perfect for him as he could go sit behind Andy Reid and really develop that offensive knowledge. As I think he's really good, but anybody can learn from sitting behind one of the best minds in all of football.
100%. I don't know. Don't hold your breath because it looks like Matt Nagy might be trying to slip into that position.
Matt Nagy, watch out.
That's right. But I'm surprised he's even getting looked at anymore.
Yeah, but while we are getting enrolled into this game right here, I got to send out a little reminder that whenever you guys take home any of these jackpots, whenever you're having fun playing Pilot games, maybe playing your favorite E-Tab game, you just having fun with your friends or favorite bartender, we love seeing photos of it. Snap those photos, and you can share them by, posting them onto any of your social media with the hashtag Pilot Games. Maybe messaging us directly on Facebook, or you could just email them to jackpots@pilotgames.com. Any of those ways, we love being able to show them off. We got a great big one that we'd love to show off right here. $7,000 going out to that guy who took home that nice prize. Looking happy. Definitely some great stuff there, and you guys can see more examples just right in this corner as well.
That's right. So definitely some good stuff going on. We love to get those player pictures, so again, be sure to send them in. But as we were getting prepped up for this last game, coming up in under 10 seconds, we do have a little bit of Minnesota Wild stuff to talk about because that game is coming up soon. It's coming up really 9:30.
It might be actually 9:30.
Oh, I guess
it might be
actually is.
Minnesota time,
Yeah.
9:30.
Yeah.
We always get confused with Minnesota time and
there's so many
Michigan time all
clocks
the time.
around us that are
we,
different.
We have no idea what time it is at any point because we live in half Minnesota time, half Michigan time.
Right. No, it is at 9. It's at 8:30 Minnesota time.
So it just hasn't gotten started yet?
It just hasn't gotten started yet. Yeah.
Okay. It just looks like their timing is a little off. They're just
Yeah.
lying to us on Google. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, and Nikki is letting us know that player picture was Coco over at Frank's Bar.
Oh.
So huge shout out to you, Coco. If you're out there, a little blanket of luck for you. There you go. Also a volley, an artillery volley. Yeah. Wait. Was that from Kicking and Screaming?
That I'm doing. I'm doing the elf.
Oh yes, that
it's the
I
elf.
totally because it was Will Ferrell.
Yes, 100%.
I thought he did that like with soccer balls to the Italian kids.
Yes, no, it's when he's
but no.
taking out all the bullies of that
That's right.
little
And
kid.
the snowball fight.
Yeah, and he just absolutely just destroys each one of those kids. So good. I absolutely idolized that scene as a kid.
100%. I gotta say though, I think Kicking and Screaming like might be one of the best sports.
The fact that they were able to get Dick Butkus in that movie.
Mike.
No, it's Mike Ditka that's in that one. That's
such a good.
I forget.
Such a good role
I
for
always
him.
mix those two up because
Yeah.
they're both really funny, but they're funny in different ways. Where if you
100,
follow Dick Butkus's Twitter, you're gonna have a great time.
I love it. He has a perfect Twitter. You can't get really better than that because he doesn't have somebody run it for him. He just kind of says what's on his mind.
He's just tweeting.
Yeah.
He's just tweeting
And
about
I
life,
love it.
about football, about whatever he wants.
That's right. That's right. And it's as it should be.
Oh, it's so good.
But
we
yeah,
do have
Kicking and
52 balls. We've clicked past that major prize. Still trying to give out the minor. Doesn't look like that's going out either. We got $68.10 available on the Musco. Yeah, but Will Ferrell classic right there. But while you guys are working on this final game, I got a player spotlight for you. Call me Jen over at JR Mac, who took home $55,644 this weekend. And over at JR Mac, they supported a great charity. Before I get into the charity they supported, though, we do have some winners here.
That's right. We got, let's see, Werewolf CS over at Friar Tuck's Bar, Scobie over at Vesta Bar, and Steve-O over at Beers Tube in Grove Heights. All of them splitting up that must go of $68, 3 different ways. Nice job to you guys. But I'll let you take away that player spotlight.
Yeah, JR Max supports the St. Paul Midway Lions Club. Their mission is to empower Lions Club volunteers and partners to improve health and well-being, strengthen communities, and support those in need through humanitarian service. That just brings us all back around to what we say at the end of every single broadcast. When you guys play pilot games, your community wins. We'll see ya.
we're at the Ledge Amphitheater in White Park, Minnesota.
I saw the Blues Brothers 2 years ago with these guys.
Blues Brothers 2 years ago was a lot of fun. Prior to that, it was the Beach Boys, and with John Stamos, it was awesome.
I have never been to a PyCon event before. This is my first time, and I am loving it.
Yeah, this is incredible. We pulled in, parked, got some free beers, amazing free food.
Famous days.
Hey everyone, Famous Dave here, smoking up the best ribs in America.
Having a great time so far. We got a picture with John Randall. It's pretty awesome.
John Randall is like my favorite.
Skull, 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 baby.
Really cool seeing John Creasel. Really cool listening to him talk and his story.
This is my first PyCon, and I've had a blast.
Willie is my favorite.
I'm excited for Willie Nelson.
I grew up listening to Willie Nelson my whole life.
Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson. Have a really nice day.
The entertainment, the people watching, cocktails, t-shirts.
Drink and eat and be with everybody.
Fabulous experience.
Either way, I don't know why you would miss this. That's all I gotta say.
He said we're making sure to come every year.
Get your butt here, man. Get your butt here.
Our mission is to serve the community. Pilot Games has given us the opportunity to provide those resources and so forth that we need to our schools, to our fire department, to our library, to organizations that help the hungry. All of those are all made possible by the Pilot Games organization.
There it is. 53 balls.
We're at the Ledge Amphitheater in White Park, Minnesota.
I saw the Blues Brothers 2 years ago with these guys.
Blues Brothers 2 years ago was a lot of fun. Prior to that, it was the Beach Boys, and with John Stamos, it was awesome.
I have never been to a PodCon event before. This is my first time, and I am loving it.
Yeah, this is incredible. We pulled in, parked, got some free beers, amazing free food.
Famous Days! Hey everyone, Famous Dave here, smoking up the best ribs in America.
Having a great time so far. We got a picture with John Randall. It's pretty awesome.
John Randall is like my favorite.
Skull, 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 baby!
Really cool seeing John Creasel. Really cool listening to him talk and his story.
This is my first PyCon, and I've had a blast.
Willie is my favorite.
I'm excited for Willie Nelson.
I grew up listening to Willie Nelson my whole life.
Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson. Have a really nice day!
The entertainment, the people watching, cocktails, t-shirts.
Drink and eat and be with everybody.
Fabulous experience.
Either way, I don't know why you would miss this. That's all I gotta say.
He said we're making sure to come every year.
Get your butt here, man. Get your butt here.
Our mission is to serve the community. Pilot Games has given us the opportunity to provide those resources and so forth that we need to our schools, to our fire department, to our library, to organizations that help the hungry. All of those are all made possible by the Pilot Games organization.
There it is. 53 balls.
we're at the Ledge Amphitheater in White Park, Minnesota.
I saw the Blues Brothers 2 years ago with these guys.
Blues Brothers 2 years ago was a lot of fun. Prior to that, it was the Beach Boys, and with John Stamos, it was awesome.
I have never been to a PyCon event before. This is my first time, and I am loving it.
Yeah, this is incredible. We pulled in, parked, got some free beers, amazing free food.
Famous Days! Hey everyone, Famous Dave here, smoking up the best ribs in America.
Having a great time so far. We got a picture with John Randall. It's pretty awesome.
John Randall is like my favorite.
Skull, 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 baby! Really cool seeing John Creasel. Really cool listening to him talk and his story.
This is my first PyCon, and I've had a blast.
Willie is my favorite.
I'm excited for Willie Nelson.
I grew up listening to Willie Nelson my whole life.
Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson! Have a really nice day!
The entertainment, the people watching, cocktails, t-shirts.
Drink and eat and be with everybody.
Fabulous experience.
Either way, I don't know why you would miss this. That's all I gotta say.
He said we're making sure to come every year.
Get your butt here, man. Get your butt here.
Our mission is to serve the community. Pilot Games has given us the opportunity to provide those resources and so forth that we need to our schools, to our fire department, to our library, to organizations that help the hungry. All of those are all made possible by the Pilot Games organization.
There it is. 53 balls.
we're at the Ledge Amphitheater in White Park, Minnesota.
I saw the Blues Brothers 2 years ago with these guys.
Blues Brothers 2 years ago was a lot of fun. Prior to that, it was the Beach Boys, and with John Stamos, it was awesome.
I have never been to a PyCon event before. This is my first time, and I am loving it.
Yeah, this is incredible. We pulled in, parked, got some free beers, amazing free food.
Famous Days! Hey everyone, Famous Dave here, smoking up the best ribs in America.
Having a great time so far. We got a picture with John Randall. It's pretty awesome.
John Randall is like my favorite.
Skol, 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 baby! Really cool seeing John Creasel. Really cool listening to him talk and his story.
This is my first PyCon, and I've had a blast.
Willie is my favorite.
I'm excited for Willie Nelson.
I grew up listening to Willie Nelson my whole life.
Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson. Have a really nice day!
The entertainment, the people watching, cocktails, t-shirts. Drink and eat and be with everybody.
Fabulous experience.
Either way, I don't know why you would miss this. That's all I gotta say.
He said we're making sure to come every year.
Get your butt here, man. Get your butt here.